I am a mastermind. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what a mastermind is and how to use a mastermind to get what you want. But before we get into that, let me share with you a story. This story goes back about 2,000 years ago. And it starts off with this beautiful baby boy. And this beautiful baby boy came here in search to understanding what or who God is. Now, I'm not here to talk about religion, but it plays a purpose in the story. You may know this man, and his man is called Jesus. Do you know that Jesus was part of the most powerful mastermind ever created on the planet? Him and his disciples created a mastermind, and in that, they discovered and wrote this powerful book called the Bible. And do you notice that Jesus was spearheading this information, but he also had disciples here helping him understand the information? There's this other powerful mastermind you may know of. It dates back July 4th, 1776. It was with a group of 56 men who signed this little piece of paper called the Declaration of Independence. You may have heard of it. This was formed in America, and now it has created the most powerful economy in the world. This is the power of a mastermind. So you may be asking yourself, what is a mastermind? Well, this was first coined back in 1925 in the first book written on the laws of success, the 16 Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill, which later, that information was so powerful that they took it, all the global elites took it off the market and watered it down and turned it into Think and Grow Rich, which this book you might be more familiar with. But do you know that in the first chapter of the 16 Laws of Success is called the Mastermind? So I want to read to you what Napoleon Hill says about what a mastermind is. A mastermind is a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both a plan and a purpose. I'll say that again. A friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. So that's essentially what a mastermind is. It's a group of two or more people coming together, working towards a common goal in harmony and holding basically each other accountable and helping them get towards their goal. So you may be asking yourself, how does a mastermind work? Well, there's a bunch of different ways you can do masterminds, but for the sake of this example, the way you can run a mastermind is you can get a group of humans together. So for example, the mastermind that's been created for this video 21-day challenge. You get a group of humans together, going through a challenge, filming one video a day, giving each other feedback on how to increase our skills. There's an energy that happens in this process. This is really used in business. A lot of business entrepreneurs use masterminds. And how that works is they meet once a week and they do it for about an hour long, and one person takes a turn each week talking about their business. And then collectively, the group starts chiming in on different ways to solve their challenges that they're facing in their business. So it can be that way, but it also can be in a way, let's say on the internet, where you, on Facebook, you get a group of humans together that think similarly, that are after similar things, and they start talking to each other and sharing information. This is very common nowadays. But this, back in the turn of the 19th century, wasn't as common, although the global elite understood the power of a mastermind. So why use a mastermind? Well, you can get what you want and get there faster with a mastermind. But here, there's a couple caveats to the mastermind. You can't just create a mastermind and then say, okay, I want to create a mastermind to get something. Now, the irony is you're trying to get something, but you got to understand, the mastermind is all about energetic harmony. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a thought journey right now. Some things you may have heard before, some things it might be for the first time, some things you may or may not agree with, and that's okay. Just follow me on this one. So there's a couple key things that happen in a mastermind. When two minds come together, all right? So we have a brain and we have a mind. Our mind has an energetic mass around it. You may or may not agree with this, but this is from the work from some pretty smart guys. Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, and Nikola Tesla all can attest to this information. So you may or may not agree, but you have a brain and you have a mind. And in that mind is putting out a frequency, constantly putting out a frequency. When you come together with someone in a mastermind effect, and you come together with them, and you blend those minds together, it takes about 45 minutes for minds to blend. So this is kind of like the sweet spot. But once the minds start blending together, they create this thing called a mastermind or a third mind. And collectively, their minds start harmonizing together to start drawing upon the ether and start drawing upon information from the ether. Now you may be asking yourself, what's the ether? Great question. Also, again, backed by Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, and Albert Einstein. This is not as talked about as much, but this is essentially what's happening in the mastermind, is you're channeling from a collective infinite information in a field of information. So I'll distill this a little bit. Where does this phone come from? Where did this phone come from? I'll ask that again. Where did this phone come from? Well, it came from, if you use an iPhone, let's say Steve Jobs. Okay, great, Steve Jobs. Where did that phone come from? Well, it came from our company. Okay, how did it start? Well, I guess it came from an idea. Perfect. Where did that idea come from? My mind. Okay, where did it come from in your mind? Well, I got an idea. Okay, where do ideas come from? Now we're getting somewhere. See, the greats know all this information, and this is why I want to share it with you, to empower you, to make you more empowered, because this information has empowered me. Ideas come from the ether. They drop into our mind. But the irony is when you have a mastermind and you're blending your minds together, the ideas can drop in faster and more quickly. And so we can access the ether, which is the highway of information that is infinite and has no boundaries and has no limits. Okay, so wait, you can form a group of humans, make a hive mind, make a third mind that channels from the ether, that allows you more access to more information, more creative ideas, and allows you to produce better results in what it is you're wanting? Are you serious? Yeah, that's the power of a mastermind. And Napoleon Hill studied this. And this was the first chapter in the 16 Laws of Success. So this is a pretty big deal. He says that this is the ground to anyone wanting to be successful. So you may not know these men, but I would definitely look into them. But I'm going to talk to you about one of the most powerful masterminds. Two of them that happened, one at the turn of the century and one that's happening right now. The first one is it was filled with Fire Burnstone, Thomas Edison, Andrew Carnegie, and Henry Ford. Do you know that every year on a quarterly basis, these men would meet up? You may be asking yourself, you've got 4 men in different industries, totally different industries. Why would they all meet up together? You know what they do? They go rent a cottage out in the woods and they'd spend a significant amount of time together. So you may be thinking, well, why would they meet up together? What would they do? You know that they wouldn't fully even have the intention to talk about business? But you know something, when you're passionate about something, naturally you're just going to talk about it. But they had no agenda. But this is why transformational seminars are so powerful. But scientifically, it's been studied by the man called Dr. Roger Callahan on how the mind, I think it was either Dr. Ted Morter, that on the first day, when you come to a seminar on the Friday, you're going to get some transformation, but there's basically, you're just bringing all your stuff from your week. Then on Saturday, there's a lot of clearing and you need to clear out. But then on Sunday is when the real transformation happens. This is why they do a lot of weekend seminars, because essentially it takes 2 days for the information to distill in your mind. So generally speaking, people that don't go to the third day of a weekend seminar will not receive the most amount of benefits. Well, this is the same thing with a mastermind. This is why getaways, taking yourself out of your environment. These men would cut off all communication. They'd go out fishing. They'd go hang out. Look this up. Type in the mastermind. You'll see the 4 men standing there. When you really look at this stuff and you really start to understand the power of this information, you can really use this towards getting what you want. And so these men would hang out with each other and share ideas. And now these men are the captains of the Industrial Revolution. These men are the captains of the Industrial Revolution. No wonder they're so successful. They're all sharing ideas with each other. So how does this apply to you? Oh, and by the way, let's get to one other powerful mastermind. I recommend, or I would encourage you to look up the Bilderberg Group. This is basically a governing body, a world governing body of about 156 men and women that meet up on a yearly basis in different locations around the world to talk about different ideas about how to run the planet. I'll say that again, to talk about different ideas to how to run the planet. And with different intentions. They all have quite a few different intentions. But they're coming from a standpoint to see how to run this world. Look it up, type in Bilderberg Group. Go research this. It's really powerful when you start understanding this. And they form a mastermind. And they form a hive mind. Now imagine that. Imagine being a fly on the wall in that mastermind. Imagine the level of thought is there. There's world leaders meeting together to talk about various different topics on our planet. So this is very, very crucial to understand the principle of the mastermind and how it works. And then why to use it is because now you can form, and listen, you don't need to be the most intelligent person at the mastermind. You don't have to be the most skilled. Quite frankly, you want to get even more benefit, be the worst person at whatever you're trying to do in the mastermind. Because all you need to do is be the facilitator. You can get a bunch of different people from different skill levels that are much better than you, and you can form them together, and that's how you add value to them. But this is the thing, it's the energy. So there's a key component to this. There has to be harmonization. Harmonization is the cohesion of the mastermind. There has to be harmonization. You have to want good for the other person. The moment that there becomes other intentions, it sets out counter intentions, and now you don't access the third mind. So that's why sometimes masterminds die out, because different minds change, different intentions change, different desires change, and that's okay. That's actually really good, because our minds are changing all the time. But you don't need to be the person or the expert at it. You can just get people together and go for a transformation. And in the process, you will receive so much benefit from being a part of this mastermind. So I would encourage you to look at what it is you're wanting to improve on. What is it you're wanting to get after? Are you wanting to create an online business? Are you wanting to work on your video camera skills? Are you wanting to work on your speaking skills? Are you wanting to work on a guitar, getting better at a guitar? Whatever it is, I would consider getting a group of 5 or more people. The sweet spot, and that's why Jesus had such a powerful mastermind, is 13 people. 13 people is a really powerful mastermind. And if you read in the 16 Laws of Success, Napoleon Hill goes on this on a very, very, very deep level. This is very, very brief here, but I would encourage you to think about leveraging this so that you can get what you want. And it's a simple process, and it's fun. It's so fun to go and get a collective group of people together and go through a transformation, and to cheer each other on. to support each other, to give each other good feedback, good ideas, to get better. And it's just, yeah, it's a really beautiful process. So I would consider creating a mastermind for your next venture. If you have any questions or how to do it or want to find out, I've got actually a PDF on how to actually do it. Leave a comment below. I'd be happy to send it to you. And yeah, good luck with master your mind. All right, take care.